All right, let's jump right in. Today we're going to listen in on a single moment in time, a moment that pretty much decided the fate of an entire empire before a single arrow was even fired. We're going to explore two key verses from the Bhagavat Gita to uncover the incredible message hidden within the sound of a few conch shells.
So, I want you to picture this, the massive, sprawling battlefield of Kurukshetra. You've got two colossal armies, family, friends, and rivals, all staring each other down, ready for battle. The tension is just, you could cut it with a knife. There's this deep, heavy silence hanging over thousands and thousands of warriors and chariots.
But that silence, it's about to be completely shattered. And the sound that breaks it isn't just a signal to charge, no. It's more like a prophecy, a divine announcement that basically declares the winner before the fight even begins. We're going to start with that first key moment, a signal from the Pandava side that was completely different from anything else heard on that battlefield. This was the opening note in a divine symphony of war. So let's take a look at the 14th verse of the very first chapter to see exactly how this divine signal is described. Okay, here it is in the original Sanskrit. I'll read it so you can really hear the rhythm of it. Tata shveter hayer yukte mahati shandane sthito madavaha pandavaschaiva divyo shankho pradadhatmutu. The translation tells us exactly what's going on. You have Krishna and Arjuna on this incredible chariot, and they sound their conch shells. But did you catch that one really important word? Transcendental. What does that actually mean here? So here's the deal. The sound they made wasn't just a loud noise. According to the source, it was divine, something from beyond our material world. This immediately sets it apart from the conch shells being blown by the other army. Their sound carried a spiritual weight, a message of destiny. You know, every single detail in this verse is basically a giant spoiler for who's going to win. The source tells us that Krishna's presence alone, well, that guarantees victory. And wherever Krishna is, the goddess of fortune is right there with him. So victory and fortune were already sitting in the chariot with Arjuna. Even the chariot itself was this divine gift said to be unstoppable. The whole thing is a setup for an inevitable win. Now, Krishna and Arjuna's signal doesn't just hang in the air by itself. It's immediately answered by the other great Pandava heroes, and each one adds their own powerful note to this growing chorus. And this brings us right to the very next verse, the 15th, which really builds on this idea of a divine chorus of sound. All right, here's the Sanskrit for this verse. Panjanyam Hrishikesho Devadatam Dhananjaya Paudram Dadavmao Mahashankam Bhima Karma Vrikodara.
So here we get the play-by-play. Krishna sounds the Panchajanya, Arjuna the Devadatta, and then the mighty Bhima blows his terrific conch, the Poundra. But what's really fascinating is that the verse doesn't just name the conch shells, it uses very specific names for the heroes themselves.
And this is just, it's brilliant. It shows you the depth of the text. The names are not random at all. Krishna is called Hrishikesha because he's the master director of his devotees' senses. He's literally guiding Arjuna. Arjuna is called Dhananjaya, the winner of wealth, reminding us that he's fighting for a righteous cause. And Bhima is Vrikodara, the voracious eater, which is a nod to his immense Herculean strength. Every name reinforces their divine role in this whole conflict.
So, when you put these two verses together, what do you really get? It's so much more than just a list of who blew which horn. It's a complete story being told through sound, a prophecy of exactly what's about to happen. Let's actually contrast the two sides, just like the source material does. On the Pandava side, you have the Supreme Director, Lord Krishna. You have the Goddess of Fortune. Their sounds are described as transcendental, encouraging. Now for the other side? Well, the source makes it really clear. They don't have any of those divine assets. No supreme guidance, no guaranteed fortune, nothing. And this brings us right to the final powerful punchline. The battle was already decided. The outcome wasn't up for grabs. It was predestined. That divine transcendental sound wasn't a call to arms. It was the public announcement that the Pandavas had already won. So, this leaves us with a really fascinating question to chew on. If the outcome was never in doubt, if victory was already guaranteed by divine will, then why go through the motions? What was the whole point of the immense struggle, the tough choices, and the profound teachings that were about to happen? What was the battle truly for?